Before the video starts, I wanted to let you guys know that this video is officially sponsored by me, and we've launched a new Patreon called Studio Will, but more on that later. Let's get straight into it. What's up guys, it's Wilson, also known as Design by Will, and we're going to be making a rhinestone mock-up. So firstly, we're just going to grab this cross from the Nebula pack and just center it. You don't have to center it. And the first thing we're going to have to do is just go right click, blending options, and then click pattern. Once you have your pattern selected, if you guys don't know how to make a pattern, it's really easy. You just need to select whatever you want to make a pattern, right click it, and press define pattern on Photoshop. So once we've got our pattern the right size that we want using the scale option, we're just going to press OK. Then we're going to go up to select and press select color and just select the orange. Orange is the color that I picked, and make sure you have this fuzziness thing turned all the way up to 200 to just get rid of all that like outlines that it makes, and it's super annoying. Then you want to press select inverse, right click, select inverse, and then after you have that, you're just gonna create a mask. So it's looking really good because of the size of that overall rhinestone mock-up itself, but to make it better, we're just gonna go to the adjustments and layers, and we're going to add a black and white. So once we've added that black and white, you can see it looks a lot more crisp and clean because there is no hint of orange to indicate an outline of some sort, which is perfect for what we want. Convert that to a smart object and you're ready to go. Now obviously that was a really quick tutorial, and I just want to show you guys how you would utilize this on a mock-up, for instance. So we're just going to be placing it on this hoodie that we have here. So this hoodie itself is a mock-up I've been working on. I just use it for client projects that want to see it on a hoodie or some sort. It's not perfect or in good shape or anything, but it gets the job done, which is perfect. And it was a whole hassle trying to get this mock-up ready. I just gave up on it, honestly. That's why you don't see it on my website. So basically we're going to center this to get it how we want. Once that's looking okay, we're just gonna apply the same effect we've just done with that rhinestone on our personal logo, whatever you want to do, like a typeface or whatever, it will work. As long as the typeface is a smart object or an object itself. So once we've done that, we're just gonna import it into the design. And then we're gonna go blending options, not blending options, sorry. We're gonna go to actions, and I've made an action of this, and it will be available on my Patreon. If you guys wanna go on my Patreon and download that, obviously, show some support, but that's it. And all you have to do is just click it and just go through the same steps we did. So just size that. Once you've installed the pattern, all the patterns and files for everything will be in that Patreon file for you guys. And the one issue I was running into was these rhinestones on this itself are too small. So that was an issue that was happening because it doesn't register the orange outline when we put black and white for some reason, which was super annoying. So I had to edit that post. So once we got that, we're just gonna scale it and put it underneath this cross on the mock-up itself. Try not to get every layer mixed up like I did here. This is why you label your layers so you don't lose where this mock-up is, because I couldn't find it for like 2 minutes and I was stressing out. So once we get that all sorted, we're just going to duplicate the rhinestone of the cross and then just add it to the knee patches, or where the knee patches would go on this design. Obviously, if you're thinking about this from a design or printer or manufacturer standpoint, you wouldn't put them there because that's where all the most contact is, and you don't want it to rub off or anything. But people put patches wherever they want nowadays, and I feel like it's the thing to do. We're just going to duplicate it, not that way, that's too uneven. So we're just going to duplicate it, press right click, then flip horizontally, and then just align it with the other one, and that's the back design done in itself. I just want to play with the color because I feel like this white doesn't do the justice for the rhinestone itself. So we're going to be playing with some color tones for this itself. I'm using the mock-up. I have like the generic colors that these hoodies tend to get printed in. No pinks, no nothing crazy. And I feel like this rhinestone with the green is a very sick look. So we're just going to duplicate that on the front itself. Nothing too crazy. It's going to be the same process, but I want to show this part because I want you guys to see what will happen if you try to skip steps, which is what I did for the second design in itself. I forgot to press OK for the black and white, so then the orange was showing up still, and that gets iffy, especially when you want to make it smaller because those outlines tend to become bigger. And that's just how Photoshop works. We can't change it, obviously. So I'm just going to scale this all the way down, and you can see sort of the orange there on the white, especially when you zoom in, and that's, you don't want that. So basically we're just going to go up and put black and white and either create a clipping mask and then convert that into a smart object. And then we got that issue resolved easy peasy without having to stress. Obviously, if you're doing this for your own project, try to keep the rhinestone pattern itself on each design roughly the same. And you can do that by just copying the sizing or the scale that you put on the other one, or just remembering it and be like, oh, that was 20, apply 20 on that one, just to keep that accuracy on. And then we're just gonna duplicate the cross itself and put it on the left side of the chest, and now we have our full design complete. And that's basically how you guys make a rhinestone mock-up in itself. Now, if you guys want to support the page, we do have a Patreon now, and the Patreon includes some perks for each tier. I have 2 tiers. I have the design team, and obviously I've got the studio team. So the design team Patreon has access to project files on this YouTube page, so you'll get complete access to this whole file, and these will not be available on my site, sadly, just straight from Patreon. And you'll get access to all the starter assets under $10 on the Design by Will page. Any questions, I will answer them fully on the Patreon. It's getting a little bit hard to answer all the questions on YouTube, so this just filters out the questions and support, which I appreciate. And in-depth tutorials on some of the projects. So I'm currently working on another Y2K in-depth video, and I might post that onto YouTube, but it most likely will just be a Patreon exclusive for my Patreons. And Studio Will team get access to project files on YouTube, and also ones that are not on YouTube, so personal files that I'm working on, and early access to assets themselves that are completely free. Also, I am working on possibly having more video content onto the Patreon, and that's exclusive videos. For example, the Y2K video exclusively on Patreon. The studio team will get access to that first over everyone, and it will include a breakdown of the full video in itself. So getting back to the video, I'm just currently making the actual preview asset that you guys will get once you sign up to the Patreon itself. Nothing too crazy, just adding my little logo and emblem. This is not for print, this is only for display, but you can use the mock-ups on your own designs. You're free to use them however you want. Take them, use them, abuse them, do whatever you want to them. But yeah, this whole project file will be in the description, including the pattern, the action, and also the PSD file that I'm working on now with the display and the mock-ups, all for commercial use for you guys. I'll see you guys when I see you. Signing out, Design by Will, and make sure to check out those links in the description to support your boy. Take care.